So real talk, fellas, I'm about to just start ranting about Mao from Disgaea 3. Light spoilers ahead.
Dig out that earwax and listen closely.
Okay.
I hate heroes! Why?
Disgaea 3 is an isometric grid-based tactical RPG released in 2008. It's notable for its heavy grind and quite possibly one of the most charming stories to ever come out of glorious Nippon. The story centers around a school in a demon-filled netherworld called Evil Academy, and its #1 honor student, Mao. Evil Academy is where demons learn how to be evil, but at the same time, you can only be a good student if you don't go to class and are an asshole. Luckily, Mao is the biggest asshole in the school, being that he is the son of the school's dean, the Overlord. We're first introduced to our NEET-like protagonist reading superhero comics and skipping class, proclaiming that after all the research he's done, he's decided to become a hero himself in order to beat up his dad. Being the absolute Chad he is, he's off on a quest to spit in the face of all demon kind and become a hero. Now this doesn't sit well with childhood friend Demon Lolly, who's already busy spitting in the face of all demon kind by being a studious little nerd. So she tries to ask Mao very politely to stop stealing her thunder. Meanwhile, Almaz von Almendine Adamant, an incel hero with a cool name, interrupts the conversation only to get the smack down by Mao. Mao captures Almaz and steals his hero title, which makes complete sense. This turns Almaz into a demon and makes Mao a hero, which also makes complete sense. Mao and Almaz make a deal to beat up Mao's dad, who is the strongest demon in the Netherworld. After defeating the Overlord, Mao will return Almaz's hero title, and Almaz can go home a total legend and finally get laid. It's revealed that Mao wants to beat up his dad because he stepped on his PSP after Mao spent 1,000,000 hours grinding out all the top scores on Hatsune Miku Project Diva. Honestly, I would too, man. Unfortunately for the both of them, Mao's dad gives them both a spanking with his giant yaoi hand, and Mao must go on a journey to open up his heart and become a true hero. As the game's intro ends, the plot starts focusing around Mao opening up to his new friends and growing as an individual. What makes Mao a great JRPG protagonist is not the fact that Mao learns the power of friendship. I can wad through the endless schlock of RPGs that are about friendship until I drown in the briny depths of Japanese anime tropes. Not that Disgaea 3 is really any different, it is through and through a game about friendship, but it's definitely handled a lot better than what I'll call friendship-centric media. But before all that, let's have a chat about society. The cultural differences between societies of humans and demons are about what you think. Demons are bad, humans are good, and everyone in both societies knows and accepts that. For example, it's looked down upon for demons to actually go to class, as truancy is seen as an idealistic trait for a demon to have. Demons should be selfish, malicious, and never do their homework. It's not the most complicated concept for demons being bad as the societal norm. Now, Beryl and her crew of well-written characters are all labeled as delinquents because they are openly kind, charitable, good-natured students. However, this is frowned upon by Demon Society, who uphold traditional demonic moral values. So when Mao, the Tradcath from Hell, decides to become a hero, the literal polar opposite of a demon, all while proclaiming a hatred for heroes, it's kind of a big deal. Mao was raised by his butler Jeffrey in a plot in order to raise up the perfect demon for a hero to duel to the death with. Mao was literally engineered to be everything a demon should be, but he basically spits in the face of all this while rationalizing that a true demon will do anything to become stronger, even become a hero. Mao, however, can't just become a hero because he calls himself one. The power he seeks is locked behind a paywall, and the only currency accepted is friendship. See, like most Chinese cartoons, the power of friendship is what overcomes every obstacle. But Mao doesn't have any friends, because true demons relish solitude. But that's not true. As we see early on with the Vato brothers, Chewy, Churro, and Cholo, I swear to God those are their names. Demons have family and friends, and the Vato bros even make fun of Mao for having no friends.
Shut up! I have no weaknesses!
Then you wouldn't mind if I reveal it.
What is it?
It is that you are no friends, güero.
But if you've noticed by now, what Mao says and what he feels are usually at odds with each other. Mao says he has no friends and that he doesn't need any, however it's clear he has a relationship with Beryl, Jeffrey, and he even develops a friendship with Almaz. Mao says he hates heroes, which in all honesty is probably true. But he also clearly looks up to them and enjoys the idea of superheroes. He collects comic books, he plays superhero video games, and he even bonds with Almaz over their mutual nerdiness for superheroes. And this isn't just a shit tsundere trope either. Mao's own cognitive dissonance won't allow him to accept reality. Instead, he's rationalizing in order to uphold the idea that he's a great demon. But all of this is just a front in order to avoid pain. He keeps saying he doesn't want to be a hero, he just needs the power to defeat his dad, which, speaking of, Mao doesn't hate his dad. Not to spoil the entire game, because I do think you should play Disgaea 3, it's the best, but Mao's reasoning for wanting to defeat his dad isn't so childish as Daddy broke his video game, but Mao refuses to admit it, even to himself. Mao's past trauma and Almaz pushing past his coping mechanisms make up a bulk of the plot, with the two of them slowly developing a friendship that surprisingly doesn't end up as the basic, "now they are inseparable comrades with an unbreakable bond" type Naruto bullshit. Almaz has a heart-to-heart with Mao, and I think Mao says one nice thing to the guy afterwards, and then they just move on. But with the excellent characterization and writing, it feels right. Mao isn't the type to get sappy, and so they don't write his character into doing anything unnecessarily fucking gay. Not to downplay the strength of the emotional impact, because I wept horrid tears during the climax of Mao and Almaz's heterosexual bromance. It's a powerful scene, and it shows just how much progress Mao makes as a person, or a demon. Whatever. His growth isn't just in strength, it's also in a way I feel a lot of people can relate to. It's that slow feeling of progress you feel when you look back at where you were as a person a year or two ago. You know, like actual emotional growth. It's not a gigantic shift in personality you see in anime and games where the bad guy becomes good, or the main character has a huge revelation and changes. Instead, we get a slow growth as Mao learns to cope and stop lying to himself. And it's totally shoved in your face that those are the themes, but because that's the focus of the plot, it's done really well. This could have easily been a game where Mao waxes poetic about how he has a dark past and he seeks revenge like some other protagonists would. Instead, Mao is written like a real fucking person. He pushes that shit deep down and he forgets about it, instead projecting new reasons for his actions in order to cope and keeping his inner thoughts guarded. I mean, Mao's heart is literally a locked safe, for fuck's sake. However, the moments of levity that only the Disgaea series provides keeps it from getting too up its own ass. I like that you can forget that Mao even has trauma he's dealing with. I like that he's mostly jovial and still fucking weirdo. And I like that when he overcomes everything, he's still him. He's just a better version of him. At the end of the day, Mao is still Mao. He's still a demon. He's still a little shit. But when you see him go from a repressed, closed-off loner to the alpha Harry Potter clone he was born to be, it's touching. And it adds an emotional element to the wackier side of the Disgaea series that I personally feel NIS hasn't been able to replicate to this day. Anyways, please play Disgaea 3. It's $8 used on PS3, and it's on Vita if you're really cool and affluent enough to own a $200 visual novel machine. I love Mao to death. Nobody talks about Disgaea 3 anymore, so please play it. I am literally begging you. Also, NIS, where's Disgaea 3 complete? Huh? You cowards? Hey, you did it. You made it to the end of the video. You're a hero. You listened to all that shit, and now you're here. There's nothing left. Go on. Bye.